I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. A convicted Middletown cop shooter whose conviction had been reversed by a state appellate court last October has pleaded guilty to charges related to the crime. Raymond Zayas had been serving a 40-year prison sentence after wounding Middletown police officer Christopher Dolan during a violent domestic incident at Zayas' Wawayanda Avenue home back in 2007. But his conviction was reversed based on the alleged conduct of the presiding Judge Jeffrey Berry, who the appeals court ruled had mishandled the case. Zayas has now pleaded guilty to assault and attempted assault charges. But while the district attorney's office had recommended a 25-year prison sentence, Orange County Court Judge Nicholas DeRosa, over the DA's objection, handed down a 17-year sentence. Raymond Zayas has been in prison since his arrest following the shooting. Police and city officials in Middletown say it's proof that their crime-fighting strategy is paying off. There was an overall 3% drop in criminal activity in Middletown in 2011, with arrests up 21%. Mayor Joe DeStefano credits that to an increased police presence in trouble spots, along with foot patrols. Part of this year's strategy will include a public awareness campaign. City residents will soon get a list of crime prevention tips in the mail in response to a type of crime that's been on the rise.
And we're throwing out some pretty interesting statistics to the public. And I believe the number is on car robberies, 92% of the car robberies that occurred in the city of Middletown were because people left their car doors unlocked and they left their computer on the seat, or they left their wallet in visible sight with the doors unlocked. That's a huge number, 92%. So if we can get more cooperation and more awareness from the public, we think we can bring that number down.
The Middletown Police Department is getting federal grant money that will help pay for officer overtime and increased patrols. Reporter Nathan Brown will have the full breakdown on Middletown's crime numbers in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. State police report today that 2 Middletown residents were arrested for a pair of residential burglaries in the town of Wallkill early yesterday. 40-year-old Donnell Cornegay and 25-year-old Kelly McCaffrey are accused of breaking into the unoccupied homes and stealing laptop computers, a television, cash, and jewelry. Police say the stolen merchandise has been recovered. Both suspects were arraigned today on felony burglary charges.
To promote the fact that we have an ability to help people. And this is a perfect example of what happens when all levels of government work together.
Ulster County Executive Michael Hine was in Rosendale earlier today for a formal signing ceremony to adopt the Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee Assessment Relief Act. It's a piece of legislation adopted last month by the county legislature that gives those Ulster County residents who suffered financial losses from the devastating storms the opportunity to apply for relief from county property taxes. The tax reductions for storm-impacted Ulster County residents would be based on damage assessments. An Orange County man with past ties to a children's club in New York City now faces child pornography charges. 59-year-old Daniel Sayers was taken into custody after police uncovered images of young boys engaged in sexual activity inside his home he'd rented in Blooming Grove. That led to a search of his current residence in Greenwood Lake, where more photos depicting obscene sexual activity involving children were discovered. Sayers is a member of the New York City Police Department Auxiliary, and he owned and operated Dan's Children's Sports Club from 1972 to 1998. He was charged with felony possession of child pornography and ordered held in Orange County Jail on $15,000 bail. The lower Hudson Valley lags behind the rest of the state when it comes to recovering from the recession. That's one of the conclusions reached in a report released today by State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli. The report stated that our region regained just 14% of the jobs that were lost during the recession. Overall, the state has regained 46% of the jobs that were trimmed. DiNapoli says the economic recovery has been uneven and that the state's economy remains fragile. The statewide unemployment rate currently stands at 8%. And it may have been cloudy in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania early this morning, but word from the scene was that Puxatawney Phil, the world-famous weather-predicting groundhog, saw his shadow, meaning we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. But it hasn't felt or looked much like winter around here. Glenn Sokoloff and his wife Pam certainly aren't complaining about our mild winter weather. They could be found walking their dogs Lily and Spanky in Middletown's Maple Hill Park this morning. What do you think about the winter so far?
Winter's been nice. It's been real nice. Give us a break. But you know the old story? We don't know what February, March is going to be. Because last year it hit us real hard.
And so you don't take a whole lot of stock in what the groundhog says, eh?
It don't really matter. I'm retired. Me and the wife got the dogs out. And we walk every day. So it don't matter whether the snow flies or not.
Glenn, Pam, Lily, and Spanky won't be walking in any snow anytime soon. Our forecast calls for dry weather throughout the weekend. Yes, the groundhog may have predicted 6 more weeks of winter, but there is no wintry weather in our local forecast. As we head into the weekend, it'll be partly sunny Friday with temperatures in the mid-40s. Saturday will be mostly sunny with the highs reaching the low 40s. For the latest local weather information as well as breaking news, keep clicking back here at Record Online. And for a complete wrap-up of all the day's events and a look at what's ahead, pick up tomorrow's edition of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.